Philippines, good evening. At sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas kung saan tayo nakikita, Naimbag nga rabii, masanto siya sa labi si kayo amin, Maya, Pabengi, Keka, marahin na banggi sa Indugubos, maupay nga gabi ha iyong tanan dida, maradyaw na diyom sa idyo hurut. Buenas noches, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakato. Maayong gabi sa Tibok Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, og kinahadlan iapil nato ang Sabah, Philippines. Ito po si Erik Espina. At ito po ang inyong Republika. Well, tonight we're going to digress from our usual topic on politics and current affairs and maybe go into a discourse of what are the prognosis? How does 2021 look? If we had a crystal ball, maybe we can undertake that if we know how. So today we're going to go into these kinds of diagnosis, if I might use that term, and see how 2021 will begin and eventually end December of 31st, 2021. So tonight, we're very, very fortunate to have, she's a master, Feng Shui master, for those of you might be wondering. She comes from the, I hope I get this right, Bazi, Destiny, and Feng Shui. She's a Feng Shui consultant. We have none other than Judith Eugenio. Good evening, my gabi.
Good evening, Eric.
How
are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Salamat. Thank you for joining us. And then,
Sure.
This is something that hopefully will help our people make decisions in the process of how 2021 will look like for many of them. My first question is, of course, let's not presume that everybody knows what Feng Shui is, no?
Yes.
So please educate me, educate the public. What is Feng Shui all about?
Okay, so I'm here to serve that purpose. So before I go to what Feng Shui is, I would like to share, as per Chinese metaphysics,
Yes.
the cosmic trinity, or the
Okay.
power of three. Personally, I call this as the three factors of human success or failure.
Okay.
Now, this is three. This is divided, equally. This is the heaven lock. When I say lock, that's L-U-C-K. The heaven lock, the earth lock, and the man lock.
Okay.
Okay, so the heaven lock, this is our destiny.
Okay.
Everything about you. Your weaknesses, your strength, the illnesses that you're prone to, the career and business you're supposed to pursue. Now we have a system or a destiny reading tool that's called Bazi.
Is this predetermined already, even before we begin our lives? I mean, when we talk about heaven lock?
Yes, this is predetermined. This
Okay.
is something that we do not have control, because this tool is based on your birth date and birth time. So when I read a destiny chart based on Bazi destiny reading system, I see a lot about you. I see your if you're going through good luck, or if you're not going through good luck, what are the blockages? What can we do so you can propel yourself to higher extent, to maximize, or to manage? Let's say, for example, for 2021, you're supposed to go downhill. Now, what can we do if we want to maximize, if you are going through a really, really good time? So that's your destiny. Now,
Okay.
the second lock is your earth lock. Now, this is Feng Shui.
This is the, can you spell that again? L-O-C-K?
Lock, L-U-C-K.
L-U-C-K, okay.
Yeah, your
okay,
lock.
Okay.
Yes. So earth lock is your Feng Shui. Now, we have to understand that the heaven lock or our destiny is only 33.3%.
Okay.
Now, Feng Shui, which is your earth lock, is also another 33.3%. Now, this is where we talk about the energy. This is the energy where you live or where you work. Now, when I go for a Feng Shui consultation, I take into account 100%. Now, 70% of that is your environment. Is the place that you are living is giving you support related to your career, your wealth, your relationship, or your
Family, all
health.
that, yeah.
Yeah? And then the 30% of that is the layout of your home. Like, is there a disconnection
okay.
of energy? Is there a toilet in the center of your home? Is your main door tapping an energy source, let's say, for example, wealth source, coming from the external? Remember I said 70% external, 30% internal. Now, so this is Feng Shui. It has nothing to do with colors. numbers, number of stairs of the stairs.
Does the location of the property also have a say in this?
This is 70%.
That's
yes.
the 70.
That's the
That's the
70%.
externalities.
That's the external, the
Okay.
environment. Now, I know there's a lot of misconception and wrong information about Feng Shui. That's why in my page, in the Judith Eugenio Feng Shui page, we debunked all the misconceptions about Feng Shui.
I see Bazi Destiny. What is BAZI, Zebra India? What does Bazi Destiny mean?
Means 8 characters. It means 8 characters, meaning Patsu is based on your birth, the year of your born.
So you
The
pronounce
month
it as
of-
Batsu?
Patsu.
Batsu. It's in short, it's
It's
Chinese.
hard.
It's Chinese.
It's Chinese,
Mandarin.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's based on the year that you're born, the month, the day, and the hour. Now it's called 4 pillars or 8 characters because at every pillar there's 2 characters. There's 2 Chinese characters. That's why it's also called the 8 characters. So Feng Shui really is just knowing what it is in your environment that you can tap into to get to persuade the chi or the energy to come into your home from the main door and then nourish everyone in the family. Okay. Now the third lock is your man lock. Now this is your human
Man lock.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is something that you can control. Your decisions, your thought process.
So out of these 3, only the man lock could be controlled, could be somehow manipulated or.
Well, number 1, you can take action. You can take the right action. Let's say, for example, based on your path so that you're gonna be ill in 2021, and I can specifically tell you what is going to be your illness based on your path. Now, of course, you'll take the right action. You exercise. You eat good food. You rest. You improve your spiritual level. Anything that will make your life more easier, based on the information you get from your destiny. So that is your man luck. Now, of course, Feng Shui can also be controlled because you can choose wherever you want to live. Let's say, for example, right now you are struggling financially or you are very sick. You have to change location because somehow the place that you're in is giving you that.
Is there such a thing as I've heard this among some Chinoys, Filipino Chinese? They sometimes buy a particular property and they're really after it because it's supposed to be in the mouth of a dragon. Is it the same thing? Are we talking about the same? Is this apples and oranges?
We call it chi mouth. Yes. Provided that they got the right Feng Shui master.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
So
because different Feng Shui master, different Feng Shui systems.
Okay. Here we go with that. Then please educate us further.
Yes. So my systems are Emperor Landform.
Okay.
So I got that from Singapore. And Sanhe, internal and external. We talk about land elevation.
Okay.
We talk about where's the mountain, where's the water, proximity-wise. We have to see also, not too near, not too close, not too far, because what we want to do is to be able to tap into that at least 400 meters from the point of reference, which is the house or the business property.
How many kinds of Feng Shui are there? I mean, just so we have an idea. I mean, we can wrap our head around this.
There's a lot. Actually, what's in the mainstream, the mainstream Feng Shui is, the colors and bracelets and gemstones and items that you can put on the east if you have this.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. You can call it what you want, but it's not Feng Shui.
How about the pakwais? That's still part of Feng Shui, no?
Bagua is not
Okay.
Feng Shui.
It's not also Feng Shui, huh?
It's
Okay.
not. It's a mathematical tool where you can use to check where is the sectors and directions.
This is very interesting because common knowledge is that when you talk about Feng Shui, it really goes into the trinkets and
Yes.
you buy certain stones or you put certain objects, doorways and all that. And now this is a revelation for, I suppose, many of us who really are very amateuristic about this, no?
Eric, this is my purpose. I think my purpose in life, I discovered, is to educate people what really Feng Shui is, and that we have the power to fix our lives if we are in a situation wherein we think that we are struggling. There is a way, because I was there. There was a time in my life wherein, what's the difference between these tycoons and me when I know I am also capable of something like that? What do they have? You know what they have?
What do they have?
Astrologers.
So it's astrology. Okay.
Astrologers, they have someone like me to guide them, to guide their path,
And
to
certain
guide them with their
presidents had also
decisions.
astrologers.
I'm sorry.
Certain presidents also had astrologers.
Yes, they have,
consulted-
definitely.
Yes, yes.
Definitely, they have.
So I'll put you in a corner. If they're not feng shui, what are they? Those that tell you you buy this is the color, and then what do you call them? Are they if they're not feng
Not
shui, what
feng
are they?
shui masters. That's it.
They're still feng shui.
Those are not feng shui.
So-
Feng shui is energy flow.
So what are they? How would you describe them? If
Not
there's a
feng
word
shui
for it.
master.
If there's a
Not
word for
feng shui
it.
master.
So definitely not feng shui
Not
master.
feng shui masters. They're
Okay.
business people.
Okay.
They're business people. They're selling stuff.
Okay.
Capitalizing on the
Commercializing
yes,
the items.
capitalizing on the knowledge of, capitalizing on the weakness of the people, that people just want to save, just want to fix their lives and improve their way of living. And for me, of course, there's always karma.
Okay.
There's always karma. So I don't want to bring down other people, but I need to bring myself up.
Okay.
This is me and my team, like me and my children. We are a team, they're my team.
Okay.
So our purpose is to make sure that people are being knowledgeable on what really feng shui is.
Let me ask you a personal question. How did you get involved in feng shui as an introduction to 2021, when we discussed 2022? What got you into to go to Singapore and really focus on being
On
a feng shui
learning.
master?
Well, there was a time where my business was going downhill.
What was your business?
I'm into manpower and
Okay,
events,
development,
events agency. And then there was a time where I know that I'm really, really good at what I do. And then there was a year that everything just stopped, like froze. And where are the clients? What's happening? Why am I going through like this situation? So a friend asked me, "Do you believe in feng shui?" I said, I think this time I'll open my mind.
Okay.
So that's where I went to Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, I went to the US. I back and forth. I went to Las Vegas, I went to San Francisco, just to make sure that I get the right knowledge, I get the right masters to guide me and teach me and mentor me.
And how was that experience? Did it confirm certain certain theories in your mind that this is the way to go?
Of course, there's a lot of feng shui masters, different systems. So I
Okay.
get to experience the different systems. But the system that I'm using now is not only by theory, but also by experience. So Sanhe, Emperor Landform, Flying Star Feng Shui system, these three systems I'm using, which I saw accuracy and I also saw results. I'm seeing results, actually.
There's no such thing as a grandmaster of feng shui. It's just a master.
Well, some people would call them, because, by age maybe.
They prefer to be called grandmaster.
Yeah. But just so people would know that they're into this kind of endeavor. So they just call themselves feng shui master.
But for the public to be warned, as a caveat, there are people who pretend to be feng shui masters, but they're not.
They're not. Yes.
Do you see?
Yes.
Do you see a lot of that?
Well, that's the reasons why we're really coming up with all this, posts about not feng shui, bad feng shui, and good feng shui. If you go to my page, that's Judith Eugenio Global.
Okay.
So we have all that on our page. It's all over. And every Tuesday, I have a show, the Judith Eugenio Feng Shui Show, where I read destiny charts for free.
Okay.
And I entertain feng shui questions also. So that's my way of giving back to the community.
We're going to pause for a few reminders. Republika will be right back. And then I would just want to leave a question. So sometimes, how do you look at the percentage of authentic and fake feng shui masters? And do you see them on TV? Do you see them on newspapers? Do you see them advertising? Okay, balik na sa atong programang Republika. Kahinabi nagya po nato si Master Judith Eugenio. Usa siya ka eksperto sa feng shui. Ito po ang kausap natin ngayong gabi para sa ating programang Forecast 2021. I'm sure you must cringe, if I might use the term. You cringe. Do you see, I don't know, I don't want to use a very strong word, fake feng shui masters, or maybe bad feng shui. I don't know if I could use that word. But Do you cringe when you see these people make certain claims and you very well know that they are not? Do you see them on newspaper? How bad is it? I mean, so that the public is warned and they know who are the real authentic ones or the authentic ones they can approach.
Oh, let me put this way. It's just that, you know, nothing can change your luck. Those trinkets that you put in the house, it will not affect the energy flow inside your home if we're talking about Feng Shui. There's a lot of them. I'm sad to say. I just sigh whenever I see them. But I just hope and pray that one day they would be able to find the right system for them so that they can change their system and teach the right one. I'm just very lucky that I found myself a very good Feng Shui master from Singapore and other countries as well. When I saw that it's happening in my life, that everything is everything was falling into place because of Feng Shui, and then that's when I said, I think I'm ready to come out as a Feng Shui consultant.
Yeah. Some people will ask, you went to four countries just to learn this, no?
And still relearning, still learning up to now. Feng Shui and Bazi is 5,000 years of study, and I don't think I can get that from one lifetime, of course, and from just 4 masters or 10 masters. I still study every day.
When you talk about energies, we're talking about 2021, but just a quick rewind. Did 2020 feel different for you? I mean, were the energies so negative, so heavy, so burdensome? Could you feel that? I mean, could you see it? I don't know if you have a chart or how is that done?
Well, 2019, I was in Manila. I was already going around TVs and radios for interviews. I already told everybody, I gave everyone a heads up that it's not going to be a stable year. When we do our forecast, we usually have a system that we use as a point of reference when we do forecast. It's not just because I'm not a psychic. I don't have third eye. So we have a system that we use. By the way, this is a skill that I've acquired. So what do you call this? So there's a chart, there's a destiny chart or a Bazi chart that we look at to somehow give a general reading of what's the year gonna look like. Like in 2020, okay, if we need to understand that the elements in 2020 was young metal underwater.
Okay.
So if you look at that in the 5 element cycle, the water cannot support the metal above. So it's like you imagine you're gonna sink, right?
Yes.
So you imagine yourself in the ocean, in the boat. So it's like it's unpredictable, it's wavy, it's full of fear. The feeling you have when you're in the boat. So that's it. So right in 2021, the elements is yin metal under the yin earth ox.
Okay. Which
Okay,
means?
so you can say that, because in the 5 cycle, the earth produce metal. So the earth below produce or supports the metal above, right? So that's if
Very burdensome.
Yeah. It's like, okay, there's stability a little bit. But, there's still another elements that are playing below the ox. Because the ox, by the way, the animal sign has no value. It's the elements that the animal signs are carrying.
Now I'm learning again.
Yeah.
Because they always, I'm sure a lot of our people have always heard, this year is going to be the year of the pig, the year of the rat, and then blah, blah, blah. This is kind of business. No,
there's no value on that.
No causal value.
No, but the elements that these animal signs are carrying, because we go with the elements, okay? Those animals, the animal signs were just used by the farmers 5,000 years ago because they are not literate. So the scholars on those years, they just use animals so they can, this season, it's a season of horse, it's a summer season, it's hot and all. So at least the farmers, they would have an idea that's the season because of this animal science. But when we do our forecast, we go higher level. It's the elements that these animal signs are carrying.
Before you explain to what we call elements, in short, a person's birth, depending on his animal sign, really has no effect as to
no
how a particular
value.
Year will develop.
No value. It's the elements, inside the animal sign.
Okay. So if you're born, let's say, year of the hog,
year of the
a
pig. That's water.
So it's water.
And what is water for you based on your destiny chart? Yes.
So that still has to be applied and analyzed.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. How many elements? I mean, how many elements are attached to an animal supposed to be? If that's the case.
Let's say, for example, for ox, inside the ox, they have metal, earth, and water.
Okay.
Now, inside the ox, okay, remember, virus is earth.
Okay.
Water is transmission. So meaning to say, in 2021, we cannot be complacent. We cannot be complacent. We cannot be, we have to be cautious and careful still because the virus and the transmission of this virus are still present inside the ox. So since it's hidden below the ox, you can say that, oh, it's the year of the yin metal. Okay, the positive side of the yin metal is it looks like a jewelry. It's beautiful, it's graceful, it's nice, everything is good. And then below that is earth, stability, stable. But then again, there's a hidden element below that. Water, which transmits the virus, earth, which is the virus, and a little bit of metal. Now, metal represents in the body, TCM, it represents breathing organ. It represents your nose, your skin. So more or less, the COVID actually was attacking that. So that's why I'm here to say that, it may be a little bit of a peaceful year because of the elements, but we should not be complacent. We still have to be cautious with our decisions related to our finances, our health, and our relationships.
Going by heaven luck, earth luck, and man luck, can these three be also applied to a country, a nation, a people? I mean, is it basically the same kind of system?
Definitely. Cosmic Trinity
So
is for
it
everyone.
It cannot just be applied to one individual, but it can be applied to a country or a nation or people.
It's like Singapore. They actually feng shui their country.
Okay.
Remember what they did? So they close I'm not very technical about it, they close a certain area in the ocean so that, when the chi comes, when it comes, it gives them that energy. Because the energy, remember, it's already around us. It's present. All we need to do is just tap into that, bring it inside our property or our home, and then enjoy. And then, of course, make sure that there's no disconnection of energy inside the home. There is no disruption. There's always, the chi can flow properly.
How do you do that? Well, with an individual, you can get perhaps the birthday, the occupation or something, or the family. But when it comes to a country, how do you apply that? I mean, how do you undertake the chart or the energy, the reading of the energy towards a particular year?
One of the systems is we look at the Independence Day.
I see.
The date, the time when it was signed.
Okay.
We follow the law of the land.
I'll ask you a question. What happens when there are two Independence Days?
We can check both.
Oh, really? You take both?
We can
like
check
for us,
both.
it's July 4 and then you have June 12.
Well, we take the most recent.
Okay.
So we take the most recent. And then we compare. And then we check on what happened in the past and then what's going on right now.
Okay.
Because it's all based in elements. It's still, we go back to the general reading where everything is elements.
Do you do, I'm sure you do, you have clients that seek you out and ask for your professional advice. But on your own, do you volunteer yourself to look at, what will happen to the Republic of the Philippines? And then you were saying that the heaven luck is already predetermined. It's very difficult to change it. So do you ever go as far as that and looking at how the country will be and then the country that your children will inherit? And are you optimistic for that matter?
There's always something we can do because remember the third is 33.3%.
Okay.
There's always man action. You can always be cautious and you can always be vigilant. You can always maximize whatever you have. My children, every day I read their charts. I told them, okay, be careful today. Okay, I have one child who's very weak in stomach. I told them, okay, today make sure that you're closer to a toilet. Because you will have this and that, and I have a child also was very emotional. So I will tell her, okay, this might be one of the source of your emotions today. So just manage your emotions. So one of the reasons why I'm into this is because to help me and my family.
Do you do it also, do you still do it for yourself? I mean, you do it for your loved ones, for your children, but do you do it also for yourself?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. I do it every day. I look at the chart. Is this a stress day for me? Is this a wealth day for me? Is this an output day for me? Is this the day that I should take a strategic step back?
Have you done, our topic is about the forecast for 2021. Have you undertaken for yourself, what's the forecast more or less for 2021, the energies involved? Because it really will affect everybody, you know, in the Philippines.
Yes, yes. So as I was saying a while ago, I said that the yin metal may look like very nice, but in the negative side of it, it's also it's also like a dagger.
This is for 2021
2021
already?
already.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
And
So remember that the 2021 is a yin metal year. Let's talk about the yin metal first.
Okay.
So yin metal represents, of course, as I said a while ago, it's like a jewelry. It looks shiny, it looks good, it looks nice. It's something that, you know, it lifts your spirits.
Okay.
But then again, in the negative note, it also talks about like a knife.
okay.
Something dangerous.
This is the yan side. Oh, can I use the term? Is that the yan side? No, it's still
The yang and the yin, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
yes,
you can
okay,
say it as
okay,
well.
okay.
So the other side of it would be something that maybe events that is related to maybe, I don't want to say the word, but it could be something like fights, using the weaponry,
Okay.
because metal represents weaponry.
war.
War, it could also be like
When you talk about war, we're talking about the Philippines here.
I'm talking about global.
Global.
I'm
okay,
talking about
okay,
global.
Okay.
Yes, because the yin metal is for everyone, all countries. All
Okay.
countries. So yeah, it also talks about that. It talks about attacks. It talks about anything metal that we use when we go to war and things like that. So that's just it. Okay, and then health-wise, it talks about still breathing organ, because that represents metal also, nose and skin also. And then and 2021, we are also prone to stomach issues.
Stomach issues.
Stomach issues as well. So if you have a predisposed pancreatic problem, this is the year that you need to take a look into that. The year's still gonna change on February 3. We are technically still in the year of 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still there.
Okay.
Because the energy changes in the Chinese calendar.
February.
February 3.
Okay.
Okay. So we really need to, of course, January is already year of the ox. So this is already kickstart. It's like the first wave of it.
Okay.
So when the energy comes, then you need to be very mindful of your stomach. And
Does it
digestive.
follow that if it's going to be the year of the ox, the people born for the year of the ox are going to be more lifted, more convenient, or is this a non sequitur?
Well, we still go back to your personal Bazi chart. Yeah, especially if you have a goat, if you have this yin earth goat and a yin earth ox inside your chart, most probably there's already an issue in 2021. So for them to know what really is in store for them, we have to come for a really in-depth reading. Yes, let's say for example, if you're born in the year of the goat, or month of the goat, or day of the goat, or hour of the goat, yin earth goat, I mean the element, then there is going to be an issue. Now, we call it clash, the clash. Now, it's always not a bad clash, because there's also a good clash, meaning a clashing to your bad element is also good. But whether it's a good or not, you're still gonna feel the instability, you're still gonna feel the unease and all that.
Is the could I ask this? Is the Philippines what animal? I mean, if you talk about the birth of the Philippines, what animal sign is it as far as Feng Shui is concerned?
Okay, I've not really, looked into the independence.
Yeah, I've always wondered on TV, how come nobody ever asked it on TV? What animal
but
is the Philippines?
that's a good question. But then again, Feng Shui wise, because this is about Feng Shui, I would say this is a pretty, at least better year for Philippines.
2021.
And for the rest of maybe the country, because of course last year, because we're east side of the world,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Are we?
yes.
So the east has a better Feng Shui chart.
Okay, I'll cut you there.
Sure.
We're going to pause for a few reminders. That
Sure.
way, we leave them hanging. Ang Republika po ang magbabalik pag tapos po ng ilang mga paalala. Okay, nagbabalik po ang ating programang Republika. Ang ating pong pinag-uusapan ay tungkol sa kinabukasan sa taong 2021. Kausap pa rin po natin si Master Judith Eugenio. So, please, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's go back to your question about what's the animal sign of the year for a country. So usually, it's like a home. We look at the luck of the patriarch, and then we
Okay.
will know the luck of the household. Okay, aside from, of course, Feng Shui, this is Patsu. Now, usually what we do is we look at the Patsu chart of the president of the country, and then at least somehow we know where we're going. So if the president is really in good luck, so at least he would be able to have the wisdom to make better decisions, we'll have more support for him, his health will be good and all. So, yeah, we look at the paths of the prime minister, the president of that country.
So this is interconnected. This is the
Yes.
umbilical cord of the fate of the country in terms of what
Who's
is also the
running
luck
it,
of the president or the prime minister.
Yes.
So I'll ask this of you. What else can you tell us about maybe good news, if there is any, for 2021 as far as the Philippines is concerned?
You know, the good news is you are listening to this right now.
Okay.
You can make better decisions. You can maybe, call for a meeting with your staff, your family, and then sit down and firm up your plans for 2020 to make sure that you'll never run out of money. Your kids are healthy, and your relationship will be more harmonious, because we know that this is gonna be not like as 2020, but at least a better one compared to 2020. Now, I'm not saying that it's gonna be a ball of sunshine, because there's still underlying, elements that will give us that struggle, that struggling energy. Now, the good side is, okay, of course, because yin, metal, and earth are favorable, are strong. I mean, strong for this year. So metal industries and earth industries might flourish in 2021.
Metal industries.
And metal and earth.
Manufacturing, you're talking about
machineries and real
anything with
estate,
machinery.
at least coming to recovering slowly and all that, insurances and all that.
Okay.
So now, but of course, we still go back to your own personal chart. Is metal and earth favorable for you? Because in 2020, we have to accept that, even if half of the world are really, really struggling, but some are also flourishing.
Yes.
Yeah, not everybody, because most probably metal, because it was the metal and water in 2020, because inside your destiny chart, metal and water are favorable. So
Okay.
there was still opportunities in 2020.
What would be the destiny chart for the Philippines in 2021, more or less?
Okay, so I'll go back to the Feng Shui more or less. So I see that because last 2020, the southeast part was not very good in Feng Shui, was using the Flying Star Feng Shui system. So, but now, it's a better one. It's academics and relationships. So I hope that we will actually be more loving, more peaceful, more understanding of each other, and we will focus more on learnings, getting new skill set and all that. And one more thing, in the center of, like, this is the world, and we look at the chart, the center energy right now is more positive. It's more of the fame, authority. It's more of like people getting their ability to take control. Unlike in 2020, the center was violence and robbery.
Okay.
But right now, it's a better energy. So I'm seeing, in these systems, I'm seeing a better, at least better.
Are we stabilizing? I mean, are we on the road to stabilizing? Not exactly recovering, but stabilizing, getting hold of our senses,
Yes,
and
taking
getting a
control.
grip on the reality that
Yes.
these are the things that need to be done.
Yes, I think people are awake, woke, because 2020 came suddenly.
It was a bad dream.
What is this? Yeah,
Yeah.
like a bad dream. But it's also a good thing for other people, because there was realization, there was bonding, there was loving, there was more of like, oh, I have this talent, I have these skills. It's more like awakening. It was a year of awakening, and if you are getting that as a positive sign, that's good. If it's a negative, then you have to fix your mindset.
I don't want to be negative about this, but could this be a preparation for, in the future again, for another pandemic, and we'll be able to get a handle on it this time? I mean, be more resilient, be more hopeful.
Well, that's a good traits that we should, even without the pandemic, even without anything, we should always be ready. We should, because we can never tell actually what will happen to you. I can only read, I can only guide you, I can only guide people. But at the end of the day, it's your action that will,
Determine.
save you.
Yeah.
Save you from whatever. Because if you had this trait of maybe you have saved money, and then you had a really, really good relationship, you had good karma, in 2020, that good karma could have given you good start already because you've been very good.
You've been doing feng shui for, I'm sure you have your own list of clients, businessmen. Do you have politicians, if I might ask? Because there are some feng shui, or there are some politicians who does consult with feng shui masters, no?
Yes,
so
yes. I have. One, I can say this because actually he advertised me as his feng shui master.
Okay.
Vice Governor Mark Leviste.
Okay.
I go
From
to Batangas. Yeah,
Yes,
we meet in Manila. I feng shui his place, and then he brings me to Batangas, and I guested in his shows. And some politicians I cannot say,
of
but
course.
more of in Manila.
Okay.
They really seek my guidance, even on the day that they're gonna cast their vote, like what time they should come out from the house, like things like that. So I guide them like every month. I do a retainers destiny reading every month. I guide them, CEOs, business owners, doctors, lawyers. So these are mostly my clients.
Based on history, based on, of course, the education that you've received, different masters and all that, living or part of history, there were presidents and prime ministers that consulted with feng shui.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell the public if you are aware of anyone through your readings that have consulted with feng shui masters.
Okay, I read at one time that Trump
Donald Trump?
has, but I'm not sure if he's getting her as a retainers. But I'm not sure. But it's just one point because one building, I think, a Trump Tower, she feng shuied, but I'm not sure what system she used. But I think she's the one. But the others, I'm not so sure because some are very, very secretive and very protective. I mean, they keep their secret weapon because feng shui masters, astrologers guide you, so they have to keep them in hidden because otherwise, that feng shui master will be hired by another one. So they have to keep that as a secret.
This is a good way to disabuse the minds of our public that feng shui is not really just all about your houses and
and nothing to do with religion,
physicality
by the
of
way.
things, no?
Nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with spiritual. It's all just a skill. It's a technique, by the way, to check on the geography of the place to find out where did the chi is coming from, where is it, saan siya dumadaan, and then ang bahay ko ba would be able to tap that good energy. That's just it.
I'll ask this of you.
Sure.
And it's been publicly known. Malacanang is right beside the river.
I know.
And so many people have read about that and made their own analysis. Your own. Can I ask your own thoughts on this?
I as far as I know that the behind is water.
Yes.
Because the door is in front, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that's. That's where the corruption is. That's some people taking advantage of what they have and all. If I'm given the chance to feng shui the place,
reconfigure the entire
I
thing?
will do it for free.
Okay.
For the love of the country. I
Okay.
will. If we're able to talk to the president, I'll take care of him, his health, his relationship, his bed. I'm going to configure it so that he can sleep properly and he would be able to gain his health. I can see him anytime if he wants to.
Yeah, so what I heard is he doesn't really actually sleep in the palace, but lives
Somewhere else.
across the river in the PSG compound in the Pangarap. Because what I heard was, and cabinet secretary told me, was the president would be able to see spirits even in the mornings.
Well, there
So
are
that's
people
why
who
he
can
prefers
see.
to transfer to.
Yeah, there are people who can really see. Yes, especially if the resource is strong.
So the palace is too close to the river.
It's very proximity-wise, it's too close.
Okay.
So the chi cannot circulate. You have to have at least 400 to 500 meters from the point of the reference, so that when it comes and then it can be able to circulate. And you have to have a nice space in front of your house so that it can still collate, circulate, and then enter your home.
So water here, very close to Malacanang, inures corruption. That's what you're saying.
Oh well, not only that. There's a lot more going on there. Of course, if you look at the landform, we can see already what's going on in a place. Let's say me, I have this scale that's called Emperor Landform, wherein if this is called the Yin Yang passers-by feng shui system, wherein if we pass by the house, we can see, okay, what's going on to the patriarch, what's going on, what's the problem with the children. So it's more of the elevation of the land, like whatever is the structure. So we know that if we can just configure the Malacanang, you know, we can increase the capacity, the positive capacity of the Malacanang.
So a while ago you mentioned in 2021 manufacturing,
Real estate,
real estate,
insurance,
insurance.
money, trading.
trading.
Yes. Okay. Now this is very
How
important.
about employment? Similar to the business you
Manpower?
got into.
Manpower? You have manpower agency?
Would that work? Would that work for 2021?
You know what?
Uh,
We still go back to your energy chart.
Okay.
If you have very good elements in the chart,
Uh-huh.
your business, whatever it is, it will flourish.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it will flourish.
How about the frontline services like drugstores, hospitals, 2021? Will that make a lot of money
I'm
also?
sure because everybody's into health.
Okay.
Everybody's into their well-being. So vitamins and whatever they have and keeping themselves, you know, healthy is and that is also good. By the way,
Yes, yes.
I said that the businesses from January, say February to August, for example, yin metal is good. But if they are in a yin metal businesses, let's say for example, if it's positive to them, September they need to be worried about that month because that's the month that the metal will be countered. So meaning to say, let's say for you, for me, my yin metal represents my wealth.
Okay.
So I should be mindful that September comes. September is the turnaround. So I have to be careful with my money because if I'm not careful in the September, I might lose my money. So be careful. Everyone who's into yin metal business, be very, very careful of your, workforce or the money or how you manage your company because September is going to be a year of stress, a month of stress and pressure.
How about the services area, spas, restaurants, and
Well, water and fire are very weak in 2021, at least in the system that we are using.
Yes.
So what's strong? Yin, metal, earth, and wood are
Okay.
the first three.
What would wood be for people who like me? I don't understand
Fashion.
Fashion.
About clothing,
Really,
wood, books, something that grows. Something that goes farming, something wood. And then water, the convenience store, something fast, travel, transportation.
So
that's
travel
it.
will be
Weakening.
going up.
Weakening, actually.
How will be weakening?
Because
Travel.
water and wood and fire and water are weak. The strong is the metal, the earth, and the wood.
You don't. It's slowly perking up, and then recovery. The economy is slowly, awakening and moving forwards. People will begin to travel by maybe second, third quarter of 2021, or will it look like as if people are still holding back and holding judgment before they go around the world?
Well, I would advise everybody to just hold back for a bit. Because the earth and the water still inside the ox, so there's still virus coming. There's still transmission coming. So it's still there. So whether a new virus, a new strand of virus is coming or not, what I mean, it's just that we know that it still takes time. It takes time. But although it's weakening, but we know in our mind that's still there. So we have to be cautious and still be very vigilant.
I'd also like to ask you this question. I mean, when you talk about Feng Shui, Filipinos think, got to be Chinoy. I mean, do they have a carte blanche advantage when it comes to Feng Shui just because they're Chinoy or they're pure Chinese? Or, this is an art which anybody can really
learn.
Study hard and then you can become an expert and really good at.
Yeah, I can already, because of course I'm Ilongga, I'm based here. Of course, they have the advantage because they can read and they can understand Chinese.
Okay.
But because of my learnings, I can also already understand
Okay.
Chinese. All the Lopan, the Chinese Lopan, I can understand without having an English beside it. So I can understand it. I can. I am just really good at studying, and I spend 2 to 3 hours a day studying, even until now. So I think anyone who is very interested into Chinese metaphysics can learn.
I recall there was a mall in Manila before that they featured a Chinese Feng Shui, and it was for free. People could go there and ask questions. And a relative went there and asked about where's a good place to build a house, and he says, you have a bamboo in your house, in your compound, and that's the place to and so we were flabbergasted. How do you know we had bamboo in our compound? I mean, how is that explainable, or is that even explainable?
Could be he's a psychic. I mean, how would he know if he doesn't have the Google Map
So
or
you
Google
can be a
Earth?
Feng Shui and also a psychic at the same time.
Yes, you can be both.
Okay.
You can be both.
Okay.
If you have that gift as a psychic and you want to learn the right system, that's very good. That's very powerful. But I'm not a psychic. I learned these things through hard work and continuous learning.
Yeah, a profile of your clients and the people who come to you. I mean, demographics, how young, how old?
Usually business people, CEOs,
Okay.
politicians, lawyers, doctors.
Uh-huh.
I have some students because I give pro bono sometimes.
Okay.
I just want to guide the youth because I believe that, they also need to be guided.
Yes, yes.
They really need to be guided. So, but most of my clients are business owners talaga.
How do you see the, in terms of education for the future, schooling for the youth in 2021? Will things change? More of the same? How do you see this?
Of course, right now, I would still go for the online virtual learning.
Okay.
And, I just want to tell them that you just continue whatever it is that you want, what is your passion, and continue studying and all. Never be stagnant, because when there's stagnant energy, that's when you become, everything will go to, go downhill.
If people want to consult with you and they require your services and your professional advice and guidance, where and how do they get in touch with you?
They just go to my website. That's
Okay.
www.juditheugenio.global.com.
Okay. And you'll answer them, surely.
Yes, I will, definitely.
Okay. So that's it for that's a full hour for us as far as the forecast for 2021 is concerned. We're very fortunate to have Master Judith Eugenio, and we got maybe 1 unit out of 3 units. 101 for Feng Shui. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
very
much
much
for
sharing
having
your time.
me.
Yes, it was really a pleasure, and I'm sure even everybody learns from this, and disabused a lot of ideas about what Feng Shui is.
Yes.
Wala na po tayong panahon. Ito po si Erik Espina, palagi po nagsasabi, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, mahal gabi, kaninyong tanan.